So this is absolute and comparative advantage. Comparative advantage is the ability of an individual, a firm, or a country to produce a good or service at the lowest opportunity cost. Absolute advantage is the ability of an individual, a firm, or a country to produce more of a good or service than competitors. In my head, when I'm thinking about these, absolute advantage is who would win in a production contest. Who would win the gold medal, so to say, in producing whatever good we're looking at. Comparative advantage, on the other hand, is who is most efficient at producing the item. Comparative advantage is the basis for trade, even on an international level. Countries choose to participate in trade in order to be better off, meaning that a country is not engaging in trade to be neighborly or to be kind. They are doing it because it is better for them to engage in trade than it is for them not to engage in trade. And to kind of visualize what is happening here, we have two tables. The first table is looking at Jane and Sam, who are producing pizzas and hamburgers. And the first question that we're going to look at is who has absolute advantage. For absolute advantage, we're going to look at each item, and we are going to see who produces more pizzas, who produces more hamburgers. If we look at our pizzas, we see that Jane can produce 50, Sam can produce 30. Since 50 is more than 30, Jane has absolute advantage in producing pizzas. Hamburgers, same idea. Jane can produce 100 hamburgers, Sam can produce 90 hamburgers. Since 100 is more than 90, Jane also has absolute advantage in producing hamburgers. For comparative advantage, we're going to be looking at the opportunity cost of production, meaning we have to consider what they're giving up. So we have to look at it for each product, for each person, or each country, or whatever scenario that you're looking at. And the way that we do that is by setting up a ratio. And the ratio is always going to be what we're giving up over what we're producing. And when you simplify that, it'll give you a number of whatever unit we have on top per whatever unit we have on the bottom. So let's look at an example. If we're going to look at Jane first, and we think that she is going to devote all of her resources to producing pizzas. If she devotes all of her resources to producing pizzas, she can produce 50 pizzas a day. If she does that, she's giving up the opportunity to produce 100 hamburgers. 100 divided by 50 gives us 2. So our opportunity cost is 2 hamburgers per pizza. Same idea, if we look at her producing just hamburgers, then she would be giving up the opportunity to produce 50 pizzas in order to produce 100 hamburgers, which would be 1/2 of a pizza per hamburger. Similarly, we can do the same thing for Sam. If Sam chooses to devote all of his time to pizzas, he can produce 30 pizzas, but he's giving up the opportunity to produce 90 hamburgers. That simplifies to 3 hamburgers per pizza. Same idea. If he devotes all of his resources to producing hamburgers, he can produce 90 hamburgers, but he's giving up the opportunity to produce 30 pizzas. 30 over 90 reduces to 1/3, so 1/3 pizza per hamburger. For opportunity costs, we want to choose the lowest. So we're comparing the 2 and the 3. 2 is smaller, meaning that Jane should make pizzas. Same thing, we're going to compare for hamburgers. We're comparing 1/2 and 1/3. 1/3 is smaller, meaning that Sam should produce hamburgers. So Jane is producing pizzas. Sam is producing hamburgers.